philosopher once said, and I quote, "The supreme happiness of life is the conviction that we are loved." Welcome to The Split.
The Split is a TV show where we talk about love, heartbreaks, betrayal, and so much more.
Today we are going to the world of marriage. So why don't you sit back and relax? I still remain Adekpeju.
And I'm Timmy Tyron.
So before we go to our topic of discussion on the show today, we are going to give you 5 toxic signs to look for before going into marriage. 1. Lack of communication. If you notice your communication between you and your partner is not as much, or the level is already low, please know that relationship is toxic.
2. Nagging. Consistently complaining about one thing or the other, like screaming at each other. It's nagging, baby. Is it not nagging?
I don't know for you. Number 3, stripping you of your self-esteem. If you notice that your partner always compares you to other people, or does not compliment you, or just says things that discourages you, please try and do something about it.
Yeah. 4. Emotional blackmail. It entails when your partner is trying to put the blame on you, even he or she knows she's at fault. Like, you did this. I'm not trying to be, you understand, taking the blame. It's part of emotional blackmail.
Number 5, lack of trust. If you can't vouch for your partner again, or circumstances just show up or just crop up, like he or she does things that you can't vouch or trust the person, know that relationship is toxic. It is not good for marriage. So I hope with these 5 toxic signs of ours, we have convinced you and not confused you that with these signs, you can't end up in marriage. So that brings us to our topic for today. Can you allow your parents choose a spouse for you?
Baby, never. I can't allow. But speaking of it, though, I think I can allow my parents.
Don't worry. Let's reserve your comments for later.
Right.
Let's go to the street.
I can be the one suffering and enjoying everything that will come from the marriage, not my parents. They don't have the right to choose them.
No, I can't allow my parents to choose a partner for me because I have the type of girl I want to marry, like the style, our lifestyle, our attitude.
I feel it's kind of like the responsibility of the child. So at the end of the day, they would not point fingers probably to the parents and all that, so it's kind of like the responsibility for us as a kid to, choose our future and all that. Most importantly, when it comes to someone we want to the rest of our life with. So I think parents out there should kind of like give us that, domination on choosing our life partner.
I will not want to choose for a wife for my sons or an husband for my daughter. I can just stay as a counselor, give advice. My position is to give advice. If I see the way it's going concerning our relationship or his relationship, can call me to advise, but I must not be the one to say this is what I want for you. Somebody who has grown up to 18 years old and above, they can decide. She can decide the best for her.
Actually, to me, no. Like they don't know what you really need in the person, and they don't also know what is going on in this century of ours. They'll be using their former century stuff to explain things of nowadays, but I can allow them at some point when it comes to maybe prayer, but choosing it I don't think so.
Something like that cannot happen. It can happen because none of my parents know my choice. My parent doesn't know my choice. They doesn't know what I feel. They doesn't know my feeling. They doesn't know my taste. So it's in my hands for me to pick this thing, and perhaps this is what I'm going to do once in a lifetime.
I don't think I can allow them to be to choose a spouse for me, because one, they're not the one that will end up living with the person. It will be just me. So whatever I'm dealing with is just going to be me. And I think I can, to some extent also, I can let them choose qualities that they want so that I don't get misled or I don't get in trouble or lead to any problems in later life, yeah. But then for picking the person also, nah.
I wouldn't like my parents to choose a spouse for me actually, because this is not the olden days or archaic day. I'll bring the person to get married to my parents, and they will observe the person. And if they say a bad character in me, they can tell me to work on that, and if you're okay. But about them bringing a girl from nowhere for me to go and marry, I don't agree to that.
I allow my parents to pick a spouse for me. I think first of all, okay, let's say I have a mom. Yeah, so I and my mom, we do interact, and she do teach me about sex education and some other stuff. So she always tell me that I should pick a man for myself, a man that is trustworthy, that is caring enough, that has God and that knows God at least, and that can understand me better.
No, I can't allow my parents to choose my spouse for me, because at the end of the day, it's my choices and I'm responsible for them. I understand that they might have a level of experience, but then this is one thing I want to do for myself, and if it goes right, let me be responsible. If it's wrong, let me be responsible.
Olden days, like in 19th century, they do that for their children. But I think the world has gotten to an extent in which we matured persons, like mature children, we can decide on our own. That is, we can take anybody that we like, that can be our own mind.
Welcome to News Flash. The headlines: Nnamdi Kanu arrested and deported back to Nigeria to face trial. Governor Seyi Makinde dissolves cabinet. Davido loses a friend and associate. Your 2020 big boys sent out of the tournament. Now the news in detail. Nnamdi Kanu arrested and deported back to Nigeria to face trial. Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has been arrested after being extradited to Nigeria from England to face trial. Kanu is facing charges bordering on treasonable felony instituted against him at the Federal High Court in Abuja, in response to years of campaign for the independent Republic of Biafra to IPOB. Governor Seyi Makinde dissolves cabinet. The Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has announced the dissolution of the state's Executive Council. Those affected include the Chief of Staff (COS) and 17 commissioners. The cabinet was constituted on August 14, 2019, following Makinde's victory in the 2019 election. The remaining council members who were not affected include the Secretary to the State Government (SSG), Head of Service (HOS), and the Director General of Due Process Office. Governor Makinde expressed the gratitude of the government and the people of Oyo State to the council members and wished them well in their future endeavors. Davido loses a friend and associate. A close friend of DMW boss Davido, named Habib Ademola Usman, popularly known as Obama DMW, died on Tuesday, 29th of June 2021 after suffering a breathing difficulty. According to reports, he drove himself to Evercare Hospital in Lekki, Lagos, to complain of breathing difficulty. He was then admitted at the hospital. Unfortunately, he died few hours later. Before his death, he was the founder of the record label Obama Music Worldwide. His death will make him the sixth friend of Davido who has died in the space of 4 years. Their names are Tago, Dejeolu, Chime, King Jaffe, Tunji, and now Obama DMW. Your 2020 big boys sent out of the tournament. Most of the big teams participating in the Euro 2020 football tournament have been sent packing by smaller teams that were considered to be underdogs in the round of 16 stage of the competition. These teams include France, Netherlands, Germany, and the current holders, Portugal. This leaves only 8 teams to face each other at the quarterfinals of the tournament. They include Switzerland, who will play against Spain, Belgium against Italy, Czech Republic, who will play Denmark, while Ukraine will lock horns with England. All of these teams have high hopes to get to the finals, which will take place at Wembley Stadium, London on the 11th of July 2021. That will be all on the News Flash. I am Joshua Chur. Thanks for watching.
Interesting opinion from others. What do you think, girl?
I feel I can't allow my parents choose a spouse for me because marriage is a long-term commitment. It's not something you can rush into, but it's not something you can just rush out of. For example, if I have issues with my husband and I end up going to my parents' house, they are the ones that will say I should go back to my marriage and settle things with my husband. What if from the onset I don't connect with him, or that connection is not there? Because before you get married, you have to have that connection to know that is this person my soulmate. So I feel I can't allow my parents choose a spouse for me. What about you?
Well, I feel say my parents will choose my own for me based on some circumstances leading to mine. I feel like when my parents choose my spouse for me, they are going to make the right choice for me. That's what I feel. Just simple, nothing dedicated. Because I feel, or my own opinion is, if my parents should choose my spouse, they know the faults of this girl. Like this, every good thing must come to an end. We've come to the end of this wonderful episode of The Split. If in case you want to contribute to the show, you can follow our social media handles. You can also follow me on Instagram at prophet_XLR.
And my Instagram handle is at Miss Bemisola. For sponsorship and advert placement, please call the numbers showing on your screen. Don't forget, love is a beautiful thing when you're with the right person. I still remain at the Peju.
And I'm Timmy Tayo.
Bye.